Good evening to you all. I'll just give it a few minutes for a few people to join us, and then we'll get started. In today's live, we're going to be covering Jeffrey Epstein, also the 3-day ritual, and also the transition from the year of the snake into the year of the horse. If you are new here, make sure to smash subscribe, also smash the like button, and share the live with your friends and family. Okay, without further ado, let's jump straight into the live. Let's get this going.
The clock is moving. Signals wake. A drop is imminent. Stand by. From shadow to movement. Form changes. Energy shifts. Tracks rewrite. Truth takes shape. Documents surface. A name reappears. Images. Records. Headlines. From public filings, dates, exhibits, context. A file drop lands. Pages. Hundreds. Institutional light. Momentum builds. Impact leaves marks. Paths converge. Cold facts exhale. The air is charged.
So, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are listening across the world. You are tuned into the Mr. Freemason channel, and I'm your host, as always, Mr. Freemason. First of all, we'll do a roll call to see where everybody's calling from and listening from, So if you want to drop down in the chat section, and we'll see where everyone's listening from across the world, and we'll get set up ready for the live stream. If you want to drop down as well in the chat section, just a 1 to make sure that everybody can hear me nice and clear, and we'll get set up ready for the show. So it's nice to be back after a while, and to join you all once again for another live stream. There we go, that's a bit better. Now we're back in the room. Hopefully you can all hear me nice and clear. Thank you for joining me in another live stream at the channel of Mr. Freemason. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever you're listening from across the world. If you can hear me all nice and clear, please drop down a number 1 in the chat section just to make sure that we're transmissioning properly and everyone can hear us nice and clear across the whole of YouTube. So if you're new here and you're new to the channel here at Mr. Freemason, we like to cover numerology, astrology, Freemasonry, rituals, hidden knowledge, and also stuff to do with the occult. With the recent, obviously, exposure of the Jeffrey Epstein list, and with people regards on the list who've been exposed so far, we'll be covering them, and with obviously the correlation with regards to the snake year that we've just come out of since yesterday, and now today, which is the first day of the year of the animal of the horse. The year of the animal of the horse, people who are born in this kind of year are known very well for being hard workers, which is where the saying comes from, a workhorse. They're also very loyal, these kind of people. They will stick by you and also back you up in times of need. Like I say, they're very hard workers, the horses. The opposite sign to the horse on the animal chart is the year of the rat. So people born in the year of the rat are going to face their enemy year for the next 12 months until the cycle ends. Now, bearing in mind we're in 2026, which is 2 plus 2 plus the 6 gives us 10. We never carry zeros in numerology, which means that we drop them. So that means that leaves us with a number 1 of a 1 energy. That corresponds to the first letter of the alphabet, which is A, which stands for aggression, assertiveness, alpha male, attack, accidents, and so on with regards to the letter A, which you tend to find that happens in the news on a frequent basis. So today in the live stream, we're going to be taking a look at the Epstein files, as I said. We'll be looking at who also is possibly going to be coming up in the year of the horse onwards. And these will be people who are born in the enemy year, which will be the year of the rat. People such as this will be Prince Charles, who we expect to pass within this year. This is also due to the fact that Prince Harry also mentioned and commented last year that he didn't know how much longer his father had due to his ill health. There's also a couple of other celebrities as well who we'll point out and to keep an eye out for during 2026, as they will be coming up in the news, as did the ones who were the enemy sign of the snake, which was the year of the pig last year. An example of some of the people who are born year of the pig, just to give you an example, because you'll be able to match this up with regards to them being in the news. Elon Musk is probably one of the most famous ones, who's born in the enemy year of the snake. He's born in the year of the pig. Another person who is actually mentioned and came up in the Epstein files, who also correlates to the year of the pig, we'll discuss. And we'll also discuss why the files have come out at the end of January, at the beginning of February as well this year, just before the transition from the year of the snake into the year of the horse. So I hope you're all doing very well. If you're new here, like I've said, please smash subscribe. We cover numerology, astrology. Today we're actually going to be going through the 3-day ritual, which runs from the 17th of February through to the 20th. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that's going to happen over these 3 days. And the reason that I say this is because this only happens once every 66 years. Each time that this has happened, it's kind of correlated as well to the number 1 energy. So last time, I believe in 1966, there was the women's revolution. There were several other things and civil uprisings during that year, which also kind of gives you an indication of what's potentially going to happen in 2026, with especially the way that the state of the USA is, and also the state that the UK is in. So at any point, if you'd like to drop down in the chat section, you can ask any questions that you'd like with regards to numerology, astrology. Also, at some point, if you like, we can also put up the link with regards to the stage, so you can actually come and join us. So I'll give it a couple more seconds, see if any more people join us, and then we'll continue with the live stream. Like we covered before in previous videos with regards to numerology, I'll cover the numbers just in case people have missed them. The numbers that come up quite frequently with regards to numerology and to keep an eye out for are the number 1, number 3, the number 6, the number 9, the number 11, also the number 13, number 19, number 22, 23, and last of all, the Grandmaster number of 33. So we'll be running down with regards to the year of the horse, and also with regards to other people, you know, that need to keep an eye out. If you are born in the year of the rat and you're unfortunately enough to be in your enemy year this year throughout 2026, the best advice to anybody that's in their enemy year is to lay low and keep your head down. The reason that we say this is there's no chance of beating the matrix in your enemy year. It will actually work like a tsunami, as an example from Elon Musk. So as the year changed over into the year of the snake last year, and Elon Musk is born in the enemy year of the snake, which is the pig sign, he encountered the first stages of the enemy year. If you can cast your mind back to February or March last year, you'll find that Elon Musk actually took quite a bit of a whack with regards to Dogecoin, his cryptocurrency, and with regards to stocks of Tesla, which all fell. the way that the energy of the enemy year kind of works, I can only kind of refer to it as the kind of energy of how a tsunami would work if you stood in the actual water. So you're going to take quite a bit of a battering at the beginning part of the enemy year. This would be kind of compared to the wave that would hit you as it's drawn out to sea. And then as the enemy year finishes, you will get double whacked, so we say, literally right in the backside from the wave. As you'll know, with any kind of tsunami, the wave that then comes in tends to be double the impact of the wave that went out in the first place. And this is the same way that we look at the energy of the enemy year. So if it is your enemy year, be prepared. Don't take on any battles with anybody. Don't take on any court cases. Try to control your emotional aggression if you can, because bearing in mind it is a 1 year, which you'll find a lot of people, their aggression will be up. They'll be very agitated. A lot of people will face anxiety. These are all words that begin with the letter A and correspond to the first letter of the alphabet, which will then also correspond to 2026 as 2 + 2 + 6 = 10. Drop the 0 gives you the 1. So an example of also how the energies can work. An example of someone who was born in the horse year, and this goes back 6 years ago, which would be in their enemy year of the rat, because it would have been the rat year in 2020, was Kobe Bryant and his daughter, who passed away in a helicopter crash. And they both passed away in their enemy year. So it's something to consider and take into consideration when it comes to, obviously, energy of the enemy year, which is why I kind of predict that it's now going to be the time of King Charles, as King Charles is born in a rat year. They say that the globe, and as we know it, the world that we live in, is based on the rat year, because one, there's so much criminality about, and also because of the number 3, the third letter of the alphabet is C. The third number is very, very important to these people, which is where you get the saying 3 is the magic number, 3's a crowd, third time lucky, and so on. If there's any that you've kind of remember yourself, then please drop them down in the chat section and share them with everybody else. So I hope everybody is doing okay and very well. Like I said, if you want to drop down in the chat section and just let me know that you can hear me all loud and clear, and we can kind of go from there. So I'll move swiftly on, and we'll move on to the video that kind of addresses the 3-day ritual, what it means, and you can kind of see for yourself what it entails, and also how the ritual is actually participated in. Well, we've got our first guest who's in the chat section who says, why would we care for satanic rituals? Well, you might not care for satanic rituals, but unfortunately, the people that run your world, your banking system, your educational system, your judiciary system, and also your criminal law system do follow satanic rituals. And if you don't believe me on that, you've only got to go and take a look at Jeffrey Epstein and the people that are involved. Because if you think that's some sort of gentleman's club or some sort of perverted club, you're very much mistaken and still living in the Matrix. And the reason that I say that is because if you wasn't living in the Matrix, you would see exactly for what it is and what's going on. Because this isn't a cult or a club or a dirty old man's club. This is a religion, and a satanic religion that's incorporated into it. The religion itself is actually satanic, because if you actually read the Bible, such as the Talmud or the Torah, you'd actually understand what the religion is about, and it'd be made very clearly to you exactly why it's been carried out, and with regards to child sacrifices, and why our children and your children and not their children. So that's kind of my only really response to that. And if you're not into the information, then this clearly probably isn't the channel for you. You might be better off going watching I Show Speed or something like that, to be honest with you. But at the same time, you're not going to learn as much as what you would do here. So if you'd like to be here, that's great. If you don't, no problem at all. So anyway, with that information, we're going to now move on to the ritual. I'm actually going to surprise you this evening, because I'm going to do a stream on this live for probably about half an hour to 40 minutes, where I'm going to go through the kind of, it would be the spellbounding part of the ritual, which would be kind of writing down what it is that you want to kind of manifest to then kind of read out loud to bring into the physical world. And then the final part of it is the ritual of the fire burning and fire lighting, which will also correspond to another topic that I'll cover in this live to do with the Holocaust. So for those of you out there who are under the impression of what the Holocaust was and the interpretation of what it entailed and with regards to history in the Second World War, you probably couldn't be any more further from the truth. I'll explain probably quite now and get this out of the way, because otherwise I might forget to come back to it at a later date. So a Holocaust is a ritual that is carried out by the Jewish religion. It's a satanic ritual that's basically a sacrifice to their gods. And it's a ritual that involves burning things, such as people or bodies. Now, I'll give you some more information with regards to the Holocaust. The Holocaust is actually written in the scripture and Bible that dates back probably about 800 to 900 years ago. So this was way before 1945, or 1939 to 1945, if you want to be specific. There was, on average, 255,000 to 275,000 Jewish people that lived in Germany at the time. They also did forensic science testing on the showers that they were claimed to be gas chambers, and they found no cyanide traces whatsoever in the showers. The showers were actually used to cleanse the people in the concentration camp, and their heads were shaved because there was a lice pandemic within the concentration camps. Another question you should really ask yourself is, if you looked at all the students with regards to what was going on in the UK and Black Lives Matter a few years ago, they were pulling all the statues down with regards to history that represented bad things such as the slave trade, even tried to pull Winston Churchill down. Now, the question you should really sit there and ask yourself is, if Auschwitz was such a bad place, why is it still standing? And why do they charge money for it? So these are the things that they won't tell you in history. And obviously, like I said, going back to what the Holocaust is, it's a ritual carried out by Jewish people. Now, obviously, there was some sort of burning of bodies, but they believe that that burning of bodies were actually the German soldiers that they captured. So with regards to details of that and regards to what the actual Holocaust is, it's nothing actually to do with 1945 and the Second World War. It existed a long time ago, and it's about a ritual and sacrifice to the gods of burning things. So hopefully that clears a few things up for a few people with regards to what the Holocaust actually means, which will kind of tie in with regards to the 3-day ritual that we're now going to go and take a look at. If you at any point you want to take notes of this, or you actually want to kind of carry out the ritual simultaneously as we go through it, then you're more than welcome to. This is only going to kind of bring positive things to you and kind of cleanse out and clear out the old closet, so to speak, to make way for the new energies. And there's also another reference in regards to Freemasonry, and also to do with the American seal and crest. Now, most people will be familiar that the animal that's linked to America is the bald-headed eagle, which is also shown on the American bank currency. It was never actually a bald-headed eagle. It was actually a phoenix, which is where they have the saying that the phoenix rising from the flames. And this is also to do with symbolism of Freemasonry. It was also taken and incorporated by the Germans in 1939 to 1945. So you'll notice that the eagle was actually also on a lot of their symbolism and flags. And also with regards to the swastika, is actually a Hindu and Indian symbol that you can actually find engraved on the pyramids. So it wasn't a symbol that was created by the German man with the moustache. It was actually a symbol that was he took from the ancient Egyptians and religions to then incorporate. And the actual sign actually represents eternity, which is why he put it on his own flag. So hopefully that information kind of clears things up for you, and maybe might kind of enlighten you with regards to the real kind of history rather than the one you were told. So without any further ado, we'll jump straight into this kind of ritual, and we'll go through the details. Like I say, after I come off of here, probably be about another 15-20 minutes once I come off, and then I'll come back on a live, because obviously I can't set fire in my home, because that would be a different kind of ritual where I think probably my family would attend a few weeks later. So with that, obviously we'll have to do the ritual obviously outside with the finishing off part with regards to the fire, and I've got a little bit of a surprise with you with that as well. So if you want to tune in, trust me, it'll be worth the wait, and it'll be worth tuning in because you won't be disappointed. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Just going to make sure we've got the right one when we start. So I'll fast forward a bit because obviously this was regards to the intro, and I'll get into the actual details of the ritual.
Does it make sense, Lecter?
I've already forgotten.
Here we go. Got there in the end.
This February 17th, you will have to wait 60 years for this chance to return. Literally. While everyone is stuck in their January resolutions they've already forgotten, 3 ancient cosmic forces are aligning on February 17th. And if you know how to use them, this single day can transform the next decade of your life. Here's what's happening. First, a ring of fire solar eclipse. The moon passes between Earth and Sun, creating a perfect ring of fire in the sky. Ancient civilizations stopped everything during eclipses because they understood eclipses are portals between worlds. Second, new moon in Aquarius. The sign of revolution, innovation, and quantum leaps. This is the cosmic reset button, the future colliding with the present. Third, the year of the fire horse begins. This happens once every 60 years. Last time was 1966. Next time, 2086. If you miss this one, you're waiting an entire lifetime. Now imagine these 3 forces hitting at the exact same moment. This isn't addition, it's multiplication. 1 times 10 times 60 equals 600 times amplification. Whatever you plant on this day doesn't just grow, it explodes into manifestation. But here's what you need to understand. The portal is open for 72 hours only, from February 17th sunrise to February 20th sunrise. You have 72 hours of fluid reality. And if you're watching this right now, it's not YouTube's algorithm, it's synchronicity.
Right, I'll just pause the video there just quickly for 1 minute with regards to the numbers that have just been explained and numerology. So it says about 72 hours, 7 plus 2 equals 9. 9 is the number of beginning and endings and cycles and completion, which is why they say 72. Also, as I referred to at the beginning of the video and stream, that I mentioned the number 3 and how 3 is the magic numbers. Things are done in 3s, obviously 3's a crowd, 3rd time lucky, and so on. So just to mention that point quickly as why the number 3 is so relevant to these people. It's also to do with the 3 gods as well. So in every kind of religion, there is 3 important people, such as in Christianity, the 3 wise men. In Judaism, there were the 3 Egyptian gods, which is what Israel was named after. Hence I for Isis, R for Ra, and L for Elyon.
The universe is preparing you. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. The exact 3-phase practice you need to perform during these 72 hours to transform your reality. But I need to be clear with you. This is not entertainment. If you're not ready for radical transformation, don't perform these practices. Because when you combine eclipse energy, new moon energy, and fire horse energy with conscious intention, you're working with forces that will actually change your life. You cannot undo this. You cannot go back to who you were before. If you're ready to die as the old version and be reborn as the new, if you're ready to quantum leap instead of crawl forward, then stay with me. Let's begin. Chapter 2. Why this is unprecedented. Let me break down what makes February 17th, 2026 so extraordinary. The Ring of Fire Eclipse. A solar eclipse happens when the moon moves between Earth and Sun. This particular eclipse creates a perfect ring of fire in the sky. During eclipses, Earth's magnetic field fluctuates dramatically. Reality becomes more fluid. Your intentions have 10 times the normal power. But this eclipse is in Aquarius, the sign of revolution. The ring of fire in Aquarius means burn away the old structures, birth the future you. The new moon in Aquarius. New moons are always about new beginnings, complete darkness before rebirth. But a new moon in Aquarius? This is about quantum leaps, not gradual progress. Aquarius doesn't do small improvements. Aquarius does revolution. Think electricity, airplanes, internet. Aquarian innovations that changed everything overnight. New moon plus eclipse equals amplification factor of 10.
Okay, so I'll stop that first part of with regards to the information and the rituals. As you can tell, it says about obviously burning the old kind of you and rebirth. Also, there was a reference there, if you paid attention to the display in front of you, there was actually the phoenix rising from the flames, which is what I just explained with regards to the Americans using the bald-headed eagle, which was originally actually the phoenix rising from the flames. So it's just quite coincidental that obviously they've referenced that part literally after I just said that as well. So we'll then move on to the second part of obviously the ritual, and then obviously the third final part. And then I will come back on for a live stream to go through the actual burning ritual that you'll see that I will do. And obviously we'll go through that.
Regular new moon intentions take months to manifest. Eclipse new moon intentions? Weeks, sometimes days. The Fire Horse year begins. Chinese New Year happens on the first new moon between January 21st and February 20th. In 2026, that new moon falls on February 17th, the exact same day as the Ring of Fire eclipse. But this isn't just any Chinese New Year. This is the year of the Fire Horse, once every 60 years. Last time, 1966. Next time, 2086. Fire Horse years are legendary. Revolutionary change, unstoppable passion, breaking free from all limitations, transformation that cannot be stopped.
Look at 1966, the last Fire Horse year. The Beatles released Revolver, transforming music forever. Star Trek premiered, changing how humanity sees its future. Cultural revolution. Counterculture explosion. Civil rights movement reaches critical mass. Birth control pill widely available, sexual revolution. Space race accelerates. Consciousness exploration becomes mainstream. See the pattern? Fire Horse years don't do gradual change. They do revolution. And now we're entering 2026. But this time, it's beginning on an eclipse plus a new moon in Aquarius. This isn't just revolution. This is quantum revolution. The triple convergence. In Chinese tradition, the first 72 hours of New Year set the template for all 365 days. In eclipse astrology, the 72 hours around an eclipse are when the portal is widest open. In lunar magic, the 24 hours around new moon are the power window. February 17th through 20th, 2026. All three windows overlap. 72 hours when reality is maximally fluid. 72 hours when your intentions have 600 times normal power. 72 hours that set the template for the next 60 years of Fire Horse energy. Miss this window? You're swimming against the current for months. Use this window? You ride a cosmic wave for years. Chapter 3. Ancient Wisdom and Modern Science. Let me show you why this works.
The ancients knew. Ancient Egypt. Priests entered temples during eclipses to set intentions for the entire kingdom. They believed the veil between worlds became so thin you could communicate directly with the gods. Ancient China. The emperor would fast and perform rituals during eclipses. They understood eclipses were moments when the laws of reality became more flexible. The Maya. They predicted eclipses centuries in advance and built temples aligned to eclipse paths. These were cosmic machines designed to capture eclipse energy. Chinese New Year. For 5,000 years, Chinese culture understood the first moments of the new year set the template for the entire year.
Their practices weren't random. They were precisely engineered consciousness technologies refined over millennia. Complete house cleaning clears energetic space. Wearing red activates fire element. First words set vibrational frequency. First actions set the pattern for all 365 days. Fire horse pattern. Every fire horse year in history brought revolution, not evolution. 1846, anesthesia invented, Neptune discovered. 1906, San Francisco earthquake, radio broadcast, women's suffrage accelerates. 1966, total cultural transformation. This is the pattern. Quantum leaps, not gradual change. The science confirms it. Modern science validates what the ancients knew. Quantum physics. The observer collapses the wave function. Your consciousness shapes reality at the quantum level. But not all moments have equal potency. February 17th, 2026 is maximum potency.
Okay, I'll just pause here again another minute and make reference to the color red and why it's obviously so dominant with regards to the 3-day ritual. The color red is very significant within rituals and also with regards to Freemasonry, which is where the red carpet comes from. Most people would never have seen inside 10 Downing Street, but if you had the opportunity and the chance to, you would find that it has a black and white checkered floor, and that runs in between that black and white checkered floor is actually a red carpet that runs through 10 Downing Street. The reason that the color red is so obviously dominant and important, also such as the red carpet of premieres and Lady in Red, red lipstick. This corresponds also to the chakra of the red chakra, which is positioned in the groin area, which is actually known as the sexual chakra. It also represents the color blood and war, which is why the elites and those who are in Freemasonry obviously hold up the color red so high with regards to it being the color of blood and war, as well as also being a dominant color. So I thought I'd just point that part out for you of why the color red is so significant with regards to the ritual.
Clear channel, maximum power, perfect reception. Morphic resonance. When millions do something simultaneously, it creates a field that makes it easier for everyone. On February 17th, 2026, 1.4 billion people performed Chinese New Year rituals simultaneously. You're not manifesting alone. You're plugging into a planetary grid of intention. Neuroplasticity. Ritual plus emotion plus repetition equals brain rewiring. The February 17th practice physically rewires your brain. During eclipses, Earth's frequency becomes unstable. Your brain becomes maximally reprogrammable. The placebo effect. Ritual plus belief plus expectation equals physiological change. On February 17th, you have massive external validation, ancient authority, and personal experience. Your subconscious doesn't just believe, it knows. Synchronicity. When you set clear intention during a portal, The quantum field entangles with that intention. The field begins looking for matches, opportunities, people, resources, not magic. Physics we're still figuring out. This is science. Ancient wisdom validated by modern physics. Now, let me show you exactly how to use it.
Chapter 4. The Triple Portal Practice. Now we come to the heart of this video. The exact practice. This is synthesized from 5,000 years of Chinese New Year traditions, ancient eclipse rituals, quantum manifestation techniques, and lunar magic. 3 phases matching the 3 forces. Phase 1. The burning. Eclipse fire destroys the old. Phase 2. The seeding. New moon plants the new. Phase 3. The riding. Fire horse activates the power. Each phase done at specific times over the 72-hour window. Pay close attention. This is not entertainment. This is instruction. Preparation. February 14th through 16th. Before the portal opens, you must prepare. Physical preparation. Deep clean your entire space, every corner, every drawer. This is about energetically clearing space for new reality. As you clean, say, "I clear space for the new." Gather your supplies. 3 candles, black, white, and red. Fireproof bowl. 3 sheets of paper. Red envelope. Salt. Incense, if possible. Get these supplies now. Don't wait until February 17th. Optional, but powerful. Fast on February 16th. Water only. This clears the body and sharpens consciousness. Mental preparation. Journal these 3 questions. What version of myself is dying?
Okay, so that's the second part of what the video is with regards to the reference of burning and the ritual. The ritual also goes on to the point that you should basically write down things that are old and put them in an envelope, and this envelope then goes onto the fire to then be burnt. This is a representation of the old person of you, and the new person is about to be born. So for there to be space in your life to then obviously step into the new person of you, of what your future and what you want it to be, you have to clear out the old person of who you are. So in kind of basic terms, it's near enough a kind of ritual of the old person of yourself dying and the new person being reborn under the eclipse sun, and obviously with regards to the year of the horse and the phase of Aquarius. I'm actually going to leave the stream in a minute because I'm actually going to have to go and prepare and do this fire. Otherwise, it's going to start to get a bit too late. With regards to what you want to manifest and the new you, I will put obviously the last part of the video up when I do the ritual, so you won't miss out on that part. But it states quite clearly to write down 3 specific things that you'd like to manifest and bring into your own world. And you kind of have to write these in the sense of I am rather than I want or I will. By saying I am, you're actually bringing into the physical presence and tense of what you actually are currently now as you stand. When people say that I am ill or I am sick, what they're actually doing is they're actually bringing in and manifesting into their own kind of subconscious and into their own reality that they're going to be ill, because they're already kind of saying that they are before it's happened. So it's why you have to be very careful with what you say, and anything that you kind of want to manifest in your life or become, you should use the words I am, such as the present tense or it's already past. You are already that kind of person. So when you write the 3 things that you'd like to obviously manifest and bring into your life, you then put them in an envelope and you put that under your pillow tonight, tomorrow night, and the following night for the next 3 nights. What will happen is your reality will try to revert back to the old person that you was. A lot of things will try and obviously be intrusive and try to obviously kind of pull you back into the old person that you was. It's very important that you hold on to that envelope and if need be, then obviously kind of open it and read it if you have to. The whole principle really is to keep the envelope sealed and under your pillow for the 3 days. But then obviously once that's happened, then you can then open it, and by reading it will reaffirm exactly what you're trying to manifest, and it will block out any of the kind of old personal old traits that try to come into your life before previously. So I hope that kind of information helps you a lot, and the live stream's been quite informative. I'm actually going to get off now. First of all, I am going to go and have a drink. Nice cup of coffee, which will wake me up, especially if I'm going to go and do what I'm going to do with fire. And I will go and set up the cameras for the second part of the live, which I will carry out the fire ritual, and you will see. So hopefully I'll see you there, and take care of yourselves. It's been brilliant to have you here. As always, you're an awesome audience, and you, the viewers at home, are what makes the show. So if you haven't already, like I said, smash subscribe, smash the like button too. Don't forget, if you want to learn about numerology a bit more, there is the Numerology Wizard app that's available on Google Play Store. And also, if you want to learn about numerology and the basics, you can go and grab yourself a copy of Numerology Astrology Breaking the Matrix, which is available on Amazon. That's available in softback and also hardback. The cover looks like a blue kind of cover with gold numerology astrology's kind of zodiac animal star signs that go around in a circle with gold writing. So it's quite obviously specific to point out, and obviously the details of the front cover you won't miss. So with that being said, you guys have been absolutely awesome, and I'm out of here to go and start a fire.